What's up, everyone? So, my budget review for May is coming out here in the next few days, but before I can make that, I wanted to explain something to you guys about my employment. Because my last video was about how I didn't get the job I thought I was going to get, and instead of making my budget video very long, because those videos are really long anyway, I wanted to just explain in a separate video what exactly is going on with my employment, because I actually am no longer doing rideshare. And I am going to make a separate video going over why I'm no longer doing rideshare, where I'm going to go into detail on that, but I'm also going to basically show you guys my finances and show you how much profit I was making and maybe why I was having some of the difficulties I was having while doing rideshare. But that's going to be a separate video. This video is actually going to tell you guys what I've been doing as far as a job. So in April and throughout most of May, I was waiting to hear back from the job that I pretty much was guaranteed, and that was the job that I made the last video about, which was where I found out why I'm not getting jobs. And I wasn't hired because of my credit. So that was on April 20th that I had that interview, and here we are in June, so I'm a little behind on telling you guys this, but it has been a really chaotic month. May was, anyway, as far as employment, because here I was waiting around to start that job, and then out of the blue, I get a text. And I should preface this with saying that I got a text about 2 months ago from Lyft saying, hey, apply for our Executive Ambassador program. And I did. It said I'd hear within 2 days. I heard nothing. So I just assumed I didn't get it. And it also was a little strange because everybody's like, oh, they don't do the ambassador program anymore. Like, what are you talking about? And then I want to say it was the the last couple days of April, I got a text and it said, hey, if you're interested in working for Lyft, fill out this form. And it was a Google Doc. It had no information about what this was at all. And then I got a text back and said, hey, if you're still interested, meet at this date at this time at this place. And it was down in the Brewery District. It's a co-working space called The View. And I ended up meeting down there. There were like 6 or 7 other people there. None of us had any idea what this was about. They gave us no details. And we showed up, and it was set up like a presentation. Like, we sat in these school-type desks, and we were supposed to take notes on this presentation. It was a PowerPoint. And what they were going over with was this position, and at the very end, they explained to us, hey, if you want to do this, we're open to hiring all of you guys to do this. And basically what it is a Lyft ambassador program. And Lyft, if you don't know, it's the rival to Uber in the rideshare market. It's one of the 2 companies that I drove for when I was driving rideshare, which I'll get into a little bit in this video why I'm not driving anymore. So I was excited about this program at first because I thought, oh, well, this would be a little bit of extra money. But I really didn't realize at first, not until a couple weeks into it, I didn't really realize the potential of the program. So the first couple days after this, I didn't even drive. I was still driving for rideshare, and I wasn't doing the recruiting, which the ambassador program is basically recruiting drivers, is what it comes down to. So with that said, what happened to lead to this was I went to that meeting on May 1st, started doing it in addition to doing rideshare full-time. Wasn't getting a lot of results, but the cool thing was that they paid us like $5 per ride that we took. What we do is we get into Ubers, and we try to recruit the Uber driver to also drive for Lyft. So Lyft pays for that ride, and then they also pay for $5 for you to take that ride. It's like a bonus. So $5 is not a lot, but it's something. And I'm like, okay, so even if I don't get this person to sign up, at least I get something for it. Now, what's great about this program is that it happened really amazingly just at the right moment, because it was in that time period where I was waiting for this job that was never going to happen. Also, I my budget kept getting more and more tight. Like I was having more and more money problems from driving for rideshare, and this was an additional source of income, which was very good for me. Now, what ended up happening was around, I think it was like May 10th, 11th, 12th, something like that. I got a flat tire, and it was a piece of metal. Apparently, the piece of metal fell out eventually, and then the tire was going completely flat. And because of that, I couldn't drive at all. I have all-wheel drive, so if I have to replace one tire, I have to replace all of the tires, and I'm flat broke, so that's not going to happen. It would be better to try to get the money together to get the one tire, but then my source of income is the car, and if I can't drive it, then I have no income. So it was a really scary situation, and this came along the same time. Now, I basically what happened with the tire, I tried to get it patched. It was going to be $25. They tried to patch it. They found out it was too big of a hole to patch, and they're like, well, you need, all new tires, which is going to be several $100s. So, like, obviously I'm going to just put the spare on it. I'm not going to, like, there's no way. So what ended up happening is I switched into, like, survival mode, and I was like, okay, how do I get by? I'm on my own. I have to get by. I can't drive my car. Well, number one, anywhere I need to go, grocery store, whatever, I'm going to take these free Uber rides that I'm getting through this Lyft recruiting program. So I wasn't just stuck at my house like I have been before when I haven't had a car. That helped a lot. The second thing is I'm brainstorming and I'm thinking, okay, my goal was to make $500 a week, $600 a week, before taxes when I was driving. I'm like, how many rides would I have to do per week at $5 a ride to get that? It's kind of a ridiculous number, but if you go out and you do like 25, 30 rides a day, it's doable. It's a stretch, but it's doable. And I was just like, wow, I mean, this is saving me right now. So I went out and I started recruiting full time. Now, I later found out that they actually encourage this, but I was kind of skittish about it at first because I'm like, are they going to say I'm taking advantage of the program? Am I going to get in trouble for doing this? Thankfully, no. And I'm actually one of the top recruiters. Actually, I am the top recruiter for Columbus, one of the top in the Midwest, if not the top. I'd have to check the numbers this week. But basically, I also come from a background of recruiting. You guys might not know this, but I was in a fraternity in college, and part of what we did is we recruited. And then I went and I worked for Abercrombie and Fitch, and even though I was in management, like a big part of being a manager at Abercrombie is that you go out at least 2 hours a day and you recruit. Not to mention that I was at one time the HR manager there, so that it was a big part of recruiting. So it was something that I already know how to do, that I'm naturally good at, and it still left me the freedom that you get with a rideshare job, and that is that you make your own hours, you can cash out on the app whenever you want to or need to, and you can work as much or as little as you want. So with that being, I can work as much as I want. Well, let's work 7 days a week. Let's do 200 rides, and 200 times 5. So you're going to make $1,000 a week. Well, that didn't quite happen. I do get burnt out on this, and I'm not going to work every day, but it's an opportunity. And that's the way I look at it. It's an opportunity because that's really what I've been trying to find when I was looking for jobs. I just thought the opportunity was a job, and maybe the opportunity is just an opportunity. So anyway, I started doing this, and the money slowly started coming in. I basically was able to live off of what I was making on those $5 rides, and then anything that I happened to get in like bonuses for people signing up, that was just extra. So it was desperately needed because, guys, I am so far behind on everything overdue, and just trying to keep all the utilities on, that kind of thing. And this has helped, and it's going to continue to help in the future. Um, Basically, they have now taken that $5 per ride away. It might come back later, but they didn't tell us up front that we had quotas, and then they told us, well, you're not meeting the quotas, so we were taking this away. But they did add some other bonuses that more than make up for that, and that works for me because I'm the top person anyway, so I'm making those extra bonuses. So I'm doing a lot better. This is in no way like a big savior job. It's not like I landed a $50,000 salary, but it is way more of a blessing than anything that I have had happen in years. Now, I will say they changed the rules a lot. I don't know how long this program is going to last. So what I am doing is I am continuing to live extremely frugally, and basically just starting to put money away into an emergency fund again, because that's totally depleted, and I am trying to get some of the past due bills paid off. I'm trying to get extra credit card payments paid, and you guys should start really in the next few months at least see a big difference in my monthly check-in videos, because you're gonna see not only a higher income, but you're gonna see a lot more debt paid off. And I do want to say, I noticed something else, and I'm going to talk about this way more in my other video about why I'm not driving for rideshare, but this job has brought really two huge benefits. Number one, I almost never drive my car ever anymore. Really, it's more that I drive it just to keep it running and keep the battery charged. I'll take it around the block a few times. That's been huge because I'm not paying for gas, and everywhere I go, I take an Uber. The second thing is, because I'm no longer driving for rideshare, I've been able to cancel my car wash subscription, which was $32.99 a month. I'm not paying for the gas, and I am now switching from the commercial insurance back to regular insurance, which should be effective next month, I think, or maybe later this month. But that is also going to cut my insurance in about half. So it's not only saving me money by not paying for rides, it's saving me money by not paying so much for the money that I'm earning. Like basically paying out X amount to earn, X, 2X or something like that. Basically what I'm trying to say is that I have a very low cost basis in the job that I'm doing now. The only thing really is that I do have to keep that unlimited data plan, which is an additional $13 a month for me to Uber hop. And I bought a spare battery to carry with me to charge my phone. That's really it. This is a lot more low budget. And again, I'm going to mention this in the other video, but one of the other huge things is this will have some big health benefits for me, because on a normal day driving for Uber, I might have 1,000 steps. Well, doing Uber hopping, I'm much more active, and it's anywhere from like 5,000 to 12,000 steps. So I wasn't really gaining weight with Uber, but I wasn't losing it, and so I have opportunity to really help my health too in doing this. So anyway, guys, I am excited about this, although it is kind of nerve-wracking. It's very competitive. If you miss your sales quota once, 1 week, you're out of the program. And then, of course, I don't have anything lined up with that being the case. So it's really just go out there, kill it, make as much money as possible, make the smartest decisions as to where that money is best to go right now, whether it's which debt to pay off, or maybe it's better to build the emergency fund first, and that kind of decision when I get the money. But right now, I'm really just trying to go out there and just make as much money as possible, and it's going to be a big significant difference. So when you guys, I don't even have it all added up yet, but when you guys see my budget review for May, you're going to see, I think that my income is higher than normal. And when you see it in June, it's going to be off the charts. So I just wanted to explain before we get into that what all has changed with employment and maybe how, hopefully, how it's going to go from now on. I gotta say, I'm pretty much energized to get back into paying off debt, and I'm a little bit hopeful about things now because for the last 2 or 3 years I've just been fighting to stay afloat and just slowly sinking. And now I really have an opportunity where I'm going to make a lot. Just to give you guys an idea of how much I might be making, we had a meeting 2 weeks ago with the guy in Chicago who does this. Now, Columbus is not Chicago, obviously, but he makes 200,000 a year doing this, and I'm the top recruiter in Columbus. I think I could make 100,000 a year, going from like 25,000 a year. That's a huge difference. Now, I'm going to stay in the same apartment. My expenses are not going to rise. My only expenses, sure, every month is going to look negative because I'm going to be putting so much money into debt that has accumulated in the past. But overall, that net worth should skyrocket. And that's what we're looking for. So, anyway, guys, just wish me luck that I can stay in this program as long as possible and this program continues as long as possible, and that I get myself financially stable before it ends and I can get myself set up to succeed. So anyway, guys, I promised you I will, by the 15th, if not earlier, have that May budget review up. I'm filming this on Sunday. I'm hoping on Monday to film that and have it up either Monday or Tuesday, but no promises. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. If you if you ever heard of Lyft recruiting, or how you feel about me jumping into Ubers to recruit their drivers. Let me know in the comments below. And if you are a driver, let me know if anybody's ever done this and tried to recruit you. Also, down in the description, I am going to put my link just so you guys, if you want to sign up, you can. Also, if you've not been a Lyft passenger, you can use the same code and it gets you a credit towards your first ride. I'm going to be posting that in my other video. Just keep in mind, this month we should at least, at the very minimum, have this video, May's budget review, and then as long as I get all the paperwork done, I will have a breakdown of how much I actually made for Uber and Lyft and why I stopped driving for them. All right. Thanks, guys.